attach the Stone of Triumph, and it's even bigger.
The biggest difference from living in Northern Ireland and living in England, other than everybody is incredibly angry at stuff that their grandads did to each other.
There should be a point where you die, surely. Oh, you're two grown-up men here. I'm here. Oh.
There's just no beatin about a wheaten. It is a known fact that a sandwich tastes better in a triangle.
God, that is creamy, isn't it?
I'm also just standing in front of
James Bond.
asking.
Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Welcome to Nostalgia AM, Adam.
Thank you.
Long-term work buddy, work wife, one would call him. So obviously this t-shirt is a nod to one of your nostalgic nuggets that you're going to inform us with. But this tells you two things.
Right.
Not only am I a fan of The Simpsons,
Yeah.
I also don't own an iron.
Now,
So-
ironing is overrated. To be
I
honest.
think so.
I don't iron my t-shirts, and look, you can't even tell.
It's the bright colour that means that you can't, you can see the wrinkles.
Yeah.
Just like my face. I wanted to have my lunch in a way that having a few things that we would have maybe had in our younger years.
Right. I'm looking forward to this now.
So only things that are still available.
Yeah, but you wouldn't get
But
them now.
you know, you probably wouldn't buy them.
Because you're meant to be a grown adult now.
Because you're meant to be an adult is
Yeah.
probably the main thing, as opposed to it being nostalgic. Did you have fives?
No, they're Tato, so we wouldn't have had Tato, but
Yeah,
I've been
fives.
told about high fives. We would have had things like what were they called? Like Space Raiders and things
Space
like that.
Raiders and rollers.
Yeah, things like that.
Bikers.
Bikers, yeah.
Bikers not Tato.
Are they Tato? One thing that's something like that then.
Same
They probably
thing.
all sound the same, they all have the same name, but just
Five.
I've never had a five. So why are these fives if that it's not even I thought it'd be like in the shape of a five or something, but
These were called fives because, believe it or not, these used to be 5p a bag.
right, okay, that does make good sense.
So then they changed the name to high fives.
Because they're extortionate now at
And that's
39p.
40p for a bag of fives. It's absolutely crazy.
It's like the things like chomps and that now are like you go and you think, oh 10p, I need a chomp. You come out and you go, well I don't have 30p actually, so
No, they're still quite nice.
they are actually really tasty, aren't
They
they?
used to come in this wee tiny bag, literally half the size of that, and they were busting full of fives.
That's how you want it, isn't it?
And you would find 20p in the ground walking to the shop in school. You're like, I'm out 4 bags of fives here, and I'm gonna have a banquet.
Cream soda, yeah. Yeah, you'd get that, yeah.
Yeah.
Bar cream soda. That's one thing that I had here that I didn't have in England that reminds me of that was the football special.
It's creamy, I don't know if you want to sip the same can. I mean, you work away there.
We've been together a long time, it's alright.
Basically, we're kissing.
God, that is creamy, isn't it?
This is something that I have never actually tasted
Oh, right.
in my life.
Pepperami? Oh, yeah, I've had a pepperami.
Have you had a pepperami?
Yeah.
This is going to be a first for me,
Really?
in that I've genuinely never
I
had
wouldn't
one of these
have-
in my mouth.
I wouldn't have had these massively in my sandwich box, but I would have.
Oh, stink.
Oh, they do.
Stink of actual dog crap. That does not look like something that you should put in your body. We took the wrapper off it, and I don't see the difference in the meat.
The wrapper was always a bit weird. It's all a bit of an odd experience having a pepperami.
If you told me that was a dog treat, I would believe you. A Dairy Lee Dunker.
Yeah. Sadly, I'm not going to partake in this unless you want me to
you
throw
don't
up.
don't like cheese. But would you take a Dunker?
But what cheese is it?
Processed
Just not.
Dairy Lee cheese.
What you should do, take one of those fives and dip it in cheese. Sounds like a good idea, to be honest.
That's a good idea.
For me, it's not, but you may enjoy that.
Yeah, that's good. We'll move on to the piece de resistance. And I'll tell you why that's funny.
Because it's a piece of.
Because it's a piece. In Northern Ireland we call a sandwich a piece. In your honour, it's a ham sandwich.
Of course.
Sandwich de jambon.
But has it got butter in it?
Oh what?
Ah.
So this is how you make a ham sandwich, right? So
Oh, blimmin' heck, what's in there?
for those of you that don't know at home, Adam brings a ham sandwich into work every day, and it is white bread, 1 slice of ham, no butter, no messing about, and that is it. And I just I'm used to it now. Like I almost enjoy it now.
I'm not going to do this whilst we're doing this, but I do put the crisps in the bread.
Yeah, he does make a crisp sandwich, which is that a Northern Irish thing, or do they do it in England?
I've just always done it.
And even the way you've cut it is all wrong, because the sandwich has to be cut in a triangle. It tastes better. It is a known fact that a sandwich tastes better in a triangle. What would you say is the biggest difference from living in Northern Ireland and living in England, other than the obvious of everybody is incredibly angry at stuff that their grandads did to each other?
The biggest difference, I actually think one of the biggest differences is that Northern Irish people are actually a lot more friendly.
Friendly?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot more common. Like if I walk down the road here, I have to make sure I'm paying attention because I have to say hello to everyone because they'll say hello to you. Whereas in England, everyone just walks with their head down. If you say hello to someone, it's a bit weird. Like I went home there, first time when I moved here, the first time I then went back to England, I was saying hello to everyone walking down the road and I realised, why are they all looking at me weird? Oh, I'm in England, why am I saying hello to everyone?
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
You say like alright to someone, they like
Alright.
go,
Something wrong with him?
yeah, like, is he alright? He's saying hello to everyone walking down the road.
Even when we're being mean, we're still doing it in like a funny but nice way. I like to call it the you culture. So, an example of this, I've told you about this before, that one time I was walking down the street, there was a big issue seller on the street, and there was this guy walking past and he was like, I bet you if I give you money for that big issue, you wouldn't give me it. And she was like, oh, come on now, don't be at it. And he's like, here, there's a quid, give me the big issue. And he took the big issue, he was like, oh, it's my last one. Takes the big issue off her, walks straight over to the bin, sitting right beside her, throws the big issue into the bin, and starts strutting off down the street. And he's so he was walking up the street, and she's still sitting there, and he's like looking over his shoulder back at her, walking up the street a bit more, looking back, keeps looking back, and once he's like almost like a dot up the other end of the street, she finally caves, goes into the bin and hooks the big issue out of the bin. And all you hear from the background is, yeah, Ben Hooker! And that's what I mean, in that we're incredibly mean people, but we also do it in I had to laugh at that, but it's also horrific.
Yeah, it's one of these things, yeah, it's the balance of, it's horrific, but at the same time you can't help but...
Because he knew exactly
what he was doing.
He played that whole scenario out in his head because he wanted to shout, you, Ben Hooker! When he's just been a dick.
You call that a knife? This is a knife.
That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
All right, you win. I see you've played knifey spoony before.
The Simpsons. Would you say it's the greatest TV show of all time, The Simpsons?
Yeah. I think for I think everyone knows The Simpsons. Surely everyone knows The Simpsons.
How long have you been watching The Simpsons?
Since I was no age really. I don't watch the new ones. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like people got to like series 15, 16, that sort of era, and just kind of stopped. Like they still make
being
them.
generous.
Yeah, I think I probably am being. But like that sort of era, and then people kind of just stopped. But they still make them. So clearly people are watching it. But I could not tell you anything about The Simpsons nowadays. But certain episodes I would watch just happily over and over again.
It's funny though that now, I think the voice actors in the cast are making like $400,000 an episode. When it's crap now. But back in the day they were getting a couple of $100,000 a season probably. So we're obviously going, right lads, I think it's 30 years. I think it's time to knock it on the head here. But why would you? Because I think annually they bring in like $3 billion or something like that in terms of merchandise and all these different things. So you were saying 400,000 per cast member? Not really a sniff whenever you look at the money they're still bringing in. Why wouldn't you keep making them? Someone's obviously watching them.
Oh, you don't make the money. Otherwise, the merchandise alone, just because it's The Simpsons, will always make money. The secret, isn't that episode with the? I love the bit with Homer when he has the stone, detach the stone of shame, and you think it's a massive stone, and it goes attach the stone of triumph, and it's even bigger.
I think that's what it's lost now, is those wee subtle jokes that they're so visual, but like it's like in a second.
They're just so
laughing your head off.
stupid. Doesn't really make any sense. But
Another one with like a big stone is like Homer was going to kill himself, and he carries a big boulder that he's got attached to his ankle, and he carries it the whole way to a bridge, and then he takes a look down, and there's the exact same boulder sitting at the bridge. He's like,
it's always the little joke. It's the little quote. It's the lines, isn't it? It's like everyone just quotes little moments.
Justin Timberlake stands out for me.
Oh yes, with the
Word.
when they open up, they have
Word. He questioned the script, and he was like, "Oh, I would never say word," and they were like, "Right, okay." So he recorded word once, but then after he said that, they put it in the episode like 10 times. Him just go every time he said something, they just cut it to make it look like he went word.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
That's genius.
Word.
My favourite character, who was only in one episode, is Hank Scorpio.
I was hoping that you would say him.
Hank Scorpio is an absolute legend. I love that episode. I could watch that just constantly. It's so funny.
He is a cult hero, isn't he?
The thing that annoyed me, like I told you about the Simpsons movie, is using his voice and not him. I don't know why they just didn't use him as the bad guy in the Simpsons movie.
Like, it was him,
Yeah.
but it wasn't him. Paul McCartney.
Oh yes.
He was in the one when Lisa becomes a vegetarian.
Yes.
And apparently he said he would only appear in the show if Lisa continued to be a vegetarian for the rest of The Simpsons. Yeah. So that's why, well, I mean, they were probably like, whatever. You know, it suits us. But he said, no, I'm only doing this if she continues to be a vegetarian. Which I think is pretty cool. Maggie, whenever she talked for the first time and goes, Daddy,
Yeah.
was actually voiced by Elizabeth Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's random, isn't it?
Daddy.
I have a little nostalgic quiz. So what does VHS stand for?
Video
Correct?
home?
Correct?
Oh. Yes. Well, I don't know. Video home screen?
Oh, system.
System. It's not a system.
Bonus point.
It's not a screen either, so I don't know
What
why I
does
said that.
VCR stand for?
Video cassette recorder?
Correct.
Yes.
Pulled it back.
I knew that one.
Why are 15s, the Northern Irish bun,
Yeah.
called 15?
Isn't it to do with like 15 different... No, it's 15 of each thing or something? Or 15 different ingredients? It's one of them, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Something like
it's
that.
like 15 of
That's the weight or the measurement of the items that are in
the
it.
items, yes.
Yeah, so it's like grams or ounces, grams, I'd imagine. What was the name of the electronic portable handheld pet from the 90s?
What, Tamagotchi? Never had one.
Never had one?
No, but people used to
Nice still
cry.
young.
People used to cry over them dying, didn't they? It's mental.
And they die like, you could take the best care of them and they'd be dead by the end of the day. You're like,
Don't you have to go and buy a new one?
I think you just reset, you poke the wee pin into the
Oh,
back
I
of it
was
and
going to say that
reset.
would have been a great money making scheme if you had to go and buy a new one every time.
See you, Jim. You know, next morning, there's Samuel has awoken.
I remember kids crying at me being like, it's not real.
What robot pet first started out with its own language but later changed to English?
Did you give it away? I wasn't listening clearly enough.
Well, the fact that it's a robot pet kind of narrows it down. I mean, it's not a frisbee.
Had its own language.
There's had a lot of them.
I'm thinking of like Weebo.
That's a flubber. It was
Weebo dead.
It was a Furby.
Oh, Furby. Of course, I forgot about Furbies.
What was the slogan for Super Soakers? You know the...
Yeah.
Oh, bit right.
I don't know what was the slogan.
Water is better. I don't even remember that.
No, I
I'm not
don't.
gonna lie
And
to you.
also, it's not true. But okay.
What toy did you have to take turns stabbing with knives?
Oh, was that the thing in the basket? Are you talking about the thing that pops up and you have to put all the things in and it popped up and
yeah.
Ah,
You said half of it.
yeah, it's like pop-up pirate.
Yes. But it was always in the same hole, so it's like...
Yeah.
I think you actually removed swords.
Or did you remove them?
Yeah, but you had to stab it anyway, didn't you? Powerpuff Girls
Yeah.
were created by sugar, spice, everything nice, and what final ingredient?
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
And accidentally knocked in Chemical X. That was in the intro to the bloody Powerpuff Girls. How long is a fruit roll-up?
Oh my days. Are they like the fruit twist things? Like
Yeah,
the things
they
that
get
are in the
them in the
paper?
thing and you-
Yeah, like, how long were they? Oh, like a metre?
Well,
Probably more
the
than
American version I think was called a 1 foot.
Oh, so 1 foot
It
then.
was actually 3 feet long.
Oh. Which probably is about, no.
Why were floppy disks called floppy?
Yeah, when they're really hard. Is it the bit of cellophane and like underneath the bit on the top?
No, because they didn't have any porn on them.
Is that like a...
But when you put porn on them, then they call them a hard disk.
That sounds like one of your puns.
That's a joke. They were originally made out of a flimsy, soft vinyl material, which I vaguely remember. You know, it being like a material floppy disk, and you put it in. And finally, what is there no beatin?
A bit of wheat.
A bit of wheaten. Because Adam, there's just no beatin, a bit of wheaten.
I don't know why that phrase annoys me. It shouldn't annoy me. I don't know. It makes no sense. I think it's because you just say it a lot.
Just love wheaten bread.
Yeah. WWF when I was a kid. But
WWF,
yeah,
yes.
Those panda people. Why do I like WWE? I think I liked it as a kid because of the storylines. I'm not going to lie. I'm not. If someone like asked me to talk about my favourite wrestling match, my favourite move and stuff, I couldn't really tell you. Like in terms of the actual wrestling that takes place, I don't actually find that part interesting. What I find interesting is like the entertainment of it and like the fake characters and like it's a soap opera at the end of the day. We all know it's a soap opera with made up characters in, but it's just done a bit differently. And I love like the entrances and the spectacle of it, and yeah, the matches play a part of it. But I like the ending. Like say it's a 20-minute good match. 10 minutes in, I'm probably sat there on my phone. I'm not going to lie, I'm not there going. But then in the final 5 minutes, when you know something's going to happen, I'm like, oh, I'm watching now. I'm interested, to see what happens here. How does this finish? And obviously, I got to go to WrestleMania. That was the pinnacle of life. That was one of my life goals, was to go to WrestleMania live, and I achieved it on the 2nd of April 2017 in Florida.
It all came full circle for you.
Oh, I remember walking up the steps and seeing the set and thinking, it was a bit weird because I'm used to seeing it on TV, not like actually in real life. And then it was good. Like it was
I had
tick box.
One of the wee wrestling rings, the wee toy figures that you have. Then my brother was brushing his teeth in my room, and I had it at the bottom of the bed, and he was standing on the edge of my bed. Steps down off my bed and puts his foot right through the middle of the ring and broke it. The only fighting was against Plaque.
Best match ever in terms of pinnacle of wrestling will always be WrestleMania 17, Austin Rock.
Yeah.
Because it was like when WWF at the time like hit its real pinnacle in terms of popularity. So everyone knew who Stone Cold Steve Austin was. Everyone knew who The Rock was.
Austin was like a bad guy, but also a good guy.
Yeah, he was a bad guy, but
Anti-hero.
loved. Yeah, anti-hero. It's like everyone says it now. He's like the guy who everyone wanted to be.
A lovable rogue.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant's undefeated streak.
Yes.
He went 15 years of his 20-year career undefeated.
And I think his first loss was to Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. It's like this weird thing about him, like he wouldn't ever lose, and because he was who he was, people were just like, oh right, yeah, okay. And also I think the thing was that
You're not going to tell him, oh by the way, you're losing this match tonight, mate.
Yeah, I think his thing as well was that wrestling then was different, so they had like territories, so he used to go from town to town, and if he was undefeated, that therefore meant he made more money in each town. And everyone then made more money because he was the star attraction.
So you're coming to see the undefeated Andre the Giant.
And every promoter paid him for it, but at the same time, because he's a spectacle, people then came, so everyone made money.
The only thing that was going to knock him off his perch was a spectacle like Hulk Hogan.
At WrestleMania, yeah.
Was that the one where he picked him up?
And picks him up and slams him, and then...
Oh my God!
He slammed him! Yeah. Jesse the Body Ventura line. The leg drop. Oh, the leg drop. A leg drop winning a match. Let's just think about that. I was at a WWE Raw taping in London, and I was sat next to a dad and a kid. The dad was speaking to me and goes, "Oh," no, the kid was sat next to me and goes, "Oh, who's your favourite wrestler?" And I said, "Oh, who at the time? I don't know, Triple H or something." And I said, "Who's yours?" And he was John Cena. And I go, "Oh, I want John Cena." And the dad goes, "Oh, I don't like John Cena either. Does your son like him?" And at that point, my brother poked his head around and went, "No, I don't like John Cena either." And then the dad looked at us both like, "Oh, you're two grown-up men here. I'm here. Oh, right, that's a bit awkward." And the conversation quickly ended after that.
Oh. Ay, caramba!
Championship manager.
Championship manager slash football manager slash whatever variation of the game that you played.
So yeah, championship manager 0102 would be the
one that you played.
The game that is forever in kind of what would you call it? The Hall of Fame of championship manager games. I used to play that too much. I'm kind of fit the stereotype where I played Football Manager and Championship Manager like no tomorrow, religiously, like it was mental. Then I met my now wife and I haven't played it since.
Right.
So I'm kind of that stereotypical.
So she's changed you.
But for the better. I mean, let's be honest. Me sitting there playing Football Manager every day probably wasn't a good idea, but I couldn't help myself. Like, you literally would lose a game of Football Manager and it would ruin the rest of your day. Or you'd be thinking, if you saved the game, you'd be thinking, right, what do I need to do ahead of the next game all day?
Yeah, and even when you're like doing other things, you're thinking like, should I sign Freddie Adu?
Yeah.
Which the answer is obviously always yes. Of course you should. Not in real life, obviously, but you know,
on the game, you should.
Football Manager.
You're always like thinking, oh, should I sell him then? Should I say he's getting a bit old, isn't he?
What much the maximum money, maximum profit? It's always bad when the chairman came in and like accepted a bid on your behalf.
Yeah, they said the club feel like this is too good. You're like, no, could get more.
I've got a plan, right? I've got a plan. Leave me alone.
It's so in depth now, though. I don't know if I could cope.
Did you ever do the editor on Football Manager?
Yeah, like they go in and
you got to put yourself into the game.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I created a whole team of my youth team at the time and put us in a league.
There was nothing quite like playing Football Manager and scoring an absolute Billy Boofter into the top corner with like Mr. Blobby or Batman on the wing. Why is it that an hour of your life playing Championship Manager was actually 5 minutes? Like in your head, it was 5. Like
you barely started.
Oh, it's 4 a.m. Brilliant. Okay, and I've literally played 2 games.
Because
you've been doing tactics and changing squad numbers
and looking through like the list of the best thing as well in Championship Manager, if you're like, trying to find the good youngsters. Cherno Samba was a classic one. A guy called Tonton Zola Muku. I don't know whatever happened to him.
He's not getting a work permit.
David Collins.
Michael Liniak.
Right.
Has 221 in-game years with Lech Poznan. He started in November 2015 and has had 35 different international roles, but has stayed with the Poznan for those 221 years. Time to move on, mate. Maybe. That for the club, you know, time to move you on. You've got a 221-year-old, at least, well, probably 240-year-old manager.
There should be a point where you die, surely.
Like, we actually need to bring you into the hospital, mate, and science needs to figure out how you're still alive, like.
Because if it's to do with being a football manager, then that is mental, isn't it?
We're right. That's a lot of games.
I think I'd get bored by that point when I just get too much the same thing constantly.
You get to a point where he's probably just trying to break a record, isn't he?
Now you go so far.
Mikel.
He's keeping
still at it.
He's keeping it interesting by changing national team.
Yeah, that's the boredom there. You can tell. 35 teams. He's definitely bored off his tits. Thank you for joining me on Nostalgia AM. It's been a pleasure.
Getting to quote Simpsons is kind of quite an easy thing to get to do during your day.
It's been a good lunch break, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Aye, still got some to go here as well.
Yes, we'll get stuck into the rest of these high fives, and you have a good rest of your life.
Thank you.
That was the people at home, not you.
Oh, I might not have a good rest of your life.
Well, you too.
Alright, thanks.
I'm also just standing in front of
James Bond.
asking.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!